Earnings have been better than expected pretty much across the board.
The market is starting November out on a high note.
Is the most upgraded stock on MarketBeat's platform. We could easily see new long-term highs set before the end of the year.
MarketBeat's Thomas Hughes is back with the top 5 stocks he sees as the best buys this month.
We're looking at a 200% to 300% stock price increase simply based on the valuation.
Find out how his outlook might differ quite a bit from some other guests we've had on the show last month. Let's dive in. Thomas, so great to have you back on for another month and new stock picks. We are talking about November and your 5 top buys of this month. Before we get into the list of names that you have for us today, let's just talk about what you're looking forward to or what the market is looking like heading into November.
Well, we're deep in earnings season, so that's really driving the market right now. Earnings have been better than expected pretty much across the board, all sectors, all the big names. Guidance is good, but really underpinned by technology and AI. There's AI is driving results in quite a few of the names on our list today, but also in play is the FOMC. They've lowered rates again. We're expecting some additional rate cuts over the next couple of quarters. At their meeting, they did call into question whether or not they were going to cut rates again this year, but I think the market is still pretty much counting on that. There would need to be some change for them to get off of the path that they're on. Right now, it seems like the economy is still pretty resilient. Labor markets are resilient. Inflation has not been as hot as people were thinking due to tariffs. So it really leaves them in a good spot as far as rate reductions, in my opinion.
Now, we're still very much in a market rally mode right now, and you'll see that in some of the stocks on your list today. But let's get right into it. What's the first company you have on your November buy list?
Right, that's MongoDB. MongoDB is interesting because this is an AI name. It's a data center play, or I should say a database play, really critical for AI training, AI models, AI inference. And it was long in the doghouse. When AI came to the rise a few years ago, we thought MongoDB was going to be one of those awesome AI performers with huge surges in revenue that, didn't really come through. That happened for a few other stocks. Advanced Micro Devices is one. But the latest report, the one before the one we're expecting in a week or so, over the summer, revealed some traction in the core business, better than expected results. Since then, we've seen the analysts start piling back into the stock. Right now, at the end of October, it is the most upgraded stock on MarketBeat's platform. They're leading it to long-term highs. Assuming that the upcoming results provide, the good news that we think is going to be in it, we could easily see new long-term highs set before the end of the year. Looking at the chart right now, it's looking pretty strong, on the verge of a major reversal. So we're just looking for some good results to drive this one. But based on the chart, it looks like we could get, a high single digit to a low double digit upside even before the results are released.
Yeah, the analyst upgrades are interesting. That consensus price target is still nothing too exciting, but the high end estimates on this one are good. And those are some of the more recent estimates, right?
Well, right. So that's what's really critical with the analyst data. It's not what the consensus says, which is important, but it's more the trend. So right now the analyst revision trend is positive. We've got upgrades and increased price targets. So we're being led to an above consensus level, being led to the high end, which I think right now is around $430. So we still got a pretty good upside ahead of us, I think.
I just want to go a little bit deeper on this stock simply because we haven't heard this name very much on the channel. Let's talk about where this company fits in the whole AI competitive scene.
Well, it's kind of a parallel to Oracle. It's more of a niche player. It is leaning hard into data center and into AI capability. Its target markets are really for developers and the development of apps. So it's existing alongside Oracle. And what we're seeing in the demand ecosphere, Oracle is certainly the leader as far as AI database goes, but MongoDB is a very critical player in the ecosystem, and there is plenty of room for both stocks to exist and to continue growing robustly.
All right, a good first pick for November. Let's move on to the second stock for today.
Right, the second one is Amprius Technologies. This one's, really a gimme. I say it right in the article, that the setup today is the same as it was a month ago. This market is very bullish. We're in an uptrend. All the indicators support higher prices. Right now, what I see in the price action is another bullish flag. So assuming we get a break to the upside, which I don't see why we wouldn't, this stock is going to rise another $7 or so pretty quickly, probably before the end of the year. That's more than 50% upside. We'll put it on track for setting a new high. based on the outlook for this company's business, the increasing analyst sentiment, increasing institutional ownership. This market's going to set new highs in just a matter of time.
Yeah, the whole battery sector is really growing a lot right now. And I think that's closely tied to the growth we're seeing in the robotics industry, too. We have a lot more to talk about with AMPX, but if you're interested in some other battery names that are doing really well right now, make sure to check out this premium article on MarketBeat. It's a list of 5 battery and lithium stocks that are charging the future. You can scan the QR code or click the link in the description of this video to get that free list of stocks right now on our website. All right, Thomas, let's get back to AMPX. I want to look at their chart a little more. They have had some ups and downs, but it does look like right now the stock is getting some pretty clear support.
Way back in September, the market moved to a new long-term high, rose above the 1050 level. So right now, that is my target for critical support, 1050. Last 2 months, the market's been above that level, tested it a few times, moved higher each time. In that time, the moving averages continued to move higher, providing some more support for the market. So even within that testing of the 1150, 1050 level as support is still increasing above that level. So right now, what we're really seeing is the market is pushing the stock price up against the ceiling, which is right around 1330. That's kind of coincidence with the high set during the IPO period. And so the market is pushing the price up against this resistance point. And what I see happening with the volume rising is eventually we'll get pushed above that level. That'll be a pretty critical pivot point. And at that time, I think that we could see a really significant inrush of capital that could include retail investors, but also the institutions.
What would be the catalyst to get this stock moving higher? Is there going to be a change in the market? Is it just a growth of this company and their product? What's that big catalyst that we're looking for?
Well, it's going to be the results, the deal pipeline, and the guidance. So this company is still in the very earliest phases of its production ramp. The demand is also ramping. It's being affirmed by numerous follow-on orders by OEMs in the drone and the UAV industry. So this technology that is applicable to any battery situation globally is being affirmed by the defense industry. So over time, I see this company kind of taking over, or at least taking a large share of the battery industry, generally speaking, which is really a huge growth opportunity. For this stock, really, right now, the sky is the limit.
I know you've been a fan of this one for a long time. Excited to see it pop back up on another buy list for the month. If you've been watching the series of all of the videos that Thomas has had, his top 5 suggestions every month, I think this one has shown up at least 3 times. This might be the 3rd time it's been on, right?
Well, I mean, since the bottom in September 24th, we've had like numerous entry signals. I mean, the volume has been ramping. It's still ramping today. So this market is just swelling. And so it's swelling to this point where eventually there's not going to be any more overhead resistance, no more overhang from the IPO. The short sellers aren't going to be interested, and it's just going to be buy, 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 buy. There won't be any shares available, and the prices, it will skyrocket.
All right, some good suggestions for our viewers today. Let's get on to the 3rd company you have for us.
Right, that's Salesforce. Now, Salesforce's stock price has struggled over the last year or so. It is now currently at the bottom of a pretty deep correction. But what I see in this one is a high potential for rebound because the analysts are still not quite on board with the recent guidance update, and they're in wait and see mode. So they're forecasting